So like I was saying at the start of this, it's starting to feel like their content is changing, and at first I thought their content was changing on accident. I didn't think they were purposely kind of creating their content in such a way that it is now, because I mean, as we know, a lot of these commentators, they kind of leech on to whatever is like what's going on in America. You know, trans people, immigrants. You know, this celebrity said this, and you know they try to twist it, you know, to the way that they, you know, fit into their message. But then, as I like the past couple of weeks, I haven't really been covering a lot of their videos because it's just been like really low level cultural type of conversations. You know, like Kylie Jenner said this, and Jamie Foxx is sick, and you know, just like these weird, like, okay, we're not talking about policies, we're not talking about, you know, what's going on in, you know, our economics or anything, or world issues. It's just like almost gossip. You know, Matt Walsh is for some reason giving love advice, and he's not really doing the whole, you know, Republican, abortion type videos and stuff like that, and even, you know, it was a thumbnail from Ben Shapiro, like, you know, is AI going to end the world and some stuff like that. It's like, what happened to the old Daily Wire? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to cover stuff like that. I want to talk about stuff that matters. And it seems like they just took this hard pivot to talk about weird cultural nonsense that has nothing to do with anything, at least important, at least to me. So I kind of want to get you guys' opinion on why you guys think this change with these commentators happen.
I'm saying if they actually had to talk about real stuff on the right, oh God. Um, Take Exhibit A with Florida. Take Exhibit A with Florida. Um, our cost of living is terrible. Our shit, our inflation is one of we have a higher, what is it? Our our home expense, our in terms of renting and all that shit.
Hmm.
Like I'm in one of the smaller cities, and we have apartments pushing 2,500. We have apartment rent pushing it was 1,500 a month.
Damn.
Yeah, and they really don't want to get on the economic policy because then on top of the fact that you push that a lot of these because of your hard line on the border and shit, you're affecting um labor here to do the jobs that other people don't want to do.
Yeah.
So you can't talk about that either. And you have no real answer toward our failing infrastructure. Still failing, even though it was a decent grade. No, it's not. It's still we still have we have privatized infrastructure essentially. Um, we didn't bother doing high speed rail or anything real because if you see the difference between China and us, and yes, we use China. Oh my God, he's just in China. Who cares? Um, Point is, we see how their infrastructure works. It's a hell of a lot better than ours, and yeah, we also have a bloated military budget. We blew up to almost $900 billion, and then you got money going out to Ukraine. You got all this shit going on. So really, in terms of the right, it's like they literally run on nothing. Like DeSantis won Florida just by, you know, not being a Democrat. It's the stupidest thing, but it just happens to play out here. So if they had to actually talk about policy substance, they'd actually lose subscribers.
Okay, Mr. Ty, so my question for you is, do you think that the Republicans and these commentators and I kind of feel like some of these commentators, because the Daily Wire is not some, just at home type of individuals, and after they get off the camera, they're going to an 8-hour job like this. These are well funded organizations. You know what I'm saying? Like they're backed by millionaires, billionaires, and they, to me, feel like the foot soldiers. You know what I'm saying? They are in charge to get the ears of the people on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, you know what I'm saying? And so, these are not just like, just some pushovers. You know what I'm saying? Like they're getting paid a lot to do this. So my question to for you, Mr. Ty, is do you think they believe that they have no real policies, no political message to give to people, especially to younger people? So they are pivoting to this kind of, surface level type of cultural conversations because they're trying to like infiltrate in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like Ben Shapiro talking about AI as if he really cares about that. What's her name? Candace Owens is constantly talking about like celebrity gossip in a way. And it's like, how does that mix in with anything? So my question to you is like, what is their intentions with making this pivot?
To me, from what you're telling me, because I don't watch them, but from what you're telling me, it sounds like they're just following the money. They do what they talk about what they feed into what the ignorance of people, their fears, what people their followers are talking about. What's his name? Not Matt Walsh, the guy who smiles all the time. The
Who smiles?
yeah,
Oh,
you just said his name.
Is it Ben Shapiro?
Nah, Ben
Oh,
Shapiro don't.
Michael knows.
Michael knows. Yeah,
That
he's
he
always
got a creepy
smiling.
smile, man. That's yeah.
He's always smiling. So that's part of a manipulation. He's smiling, and he's just like the guy who was talking on the Breakfast Club, always smiling, but it's something behind his smile.
Mm.
And so he's saying what he's saying, but with a little slick to it. And I think you said he was talking about dating. He was giving advice on that. He's a good looking guy, so why not? The ladies probably love him, so he needs to talk about that type of stuff.
Okay. So essentially, so you made a good point. Like they're following the money, and in my opinion, um, that's the number one sign of a grifter to me. Like you don't really have a message. You just kind of stick your finger in your mouth, put it in the air, and kind of just figure out where the air is going. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of just
Right.
follow suit. So um I almost feel like I want to say it wasn't on purpose at first, because we know a lot of these individuals would just kind of like leech on to a subject, and they will run that subject to the ground, and it almost feels like they go from subject to subject, and they end up in a place to where they kind of just there on accident, and I
Right.
feel like they got into this place on accident because they're chasing stories and trying to manipulate them and try to turn it into something political, and now they find themselves trying to cater to a younger audience, because normally, or at least my statistics on my channel, my audience is between like 30 years old and 65. You know what I'm saying? Like there's very few people that are like younger than 30 years old watching my channel. So I kind of
Right.
just assume like that's kind of like the average for a political channel, which it makes sense. Like, you know, a lot of young people don't want to watch political stuff. They, you know, they're politically active, but they may not want to spend all day watching, you know, CNN and, you know, like stuff like that. So it feels like with the Daily Wire, they accidentally found themselves in a place where they're trying to chase younger audience. And like you say, like, you know, Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles, they're giving dating advice. You know, they're not trying to talk to people like me who are, you know, more likely in a committed relationship. They're married, they got kids, they already got a foundation. Like, who who, who are they trying to target? And then my follow question for you, Mr. E Wade, is if they find themselves trying to make content for a younger audience, and if you look at their thumbnail, their thumbnails even changed drastically. Like now it, you know, they got the little cutout of their, you know, faces, and they're, you know, all of a sudden they're making like these weird reaction faces, and you know, I do that myself too, but like I started off with that, and Ben Shapiro didn't do that at first. Now all of a sudden he's making these weird faces, and I'm and this has been for like the past like maybe month, and I started asking myself like why are they doing this? So my question for you, Mr. Ewed, like now that they're trying to attract the younger audience, how do you think they can like flip that and reverse that into like something political, or do you think they just completely gave up on the political aspect of it?
I really, I guess, I guess you could say they have given up on the political aspects. I doubt it, but it actually shows how little they think of younger people.
Yeah.
I said I teach a lot of high school level kids, and well, younger adults basically, and I'm telling you, like they're seeing this shit. They're
Oh
seeing the
yeah.
real. So to do any of that is actually insulting to their intelligence. At least the ones that I've taught would look at a Ben Shapiro and go, "Nah, he's clowning," or they would see right through that. And and like I said, like some of these kids are reading. Like I said, some of these kids are reading about. Um, I said I had one kid that like read the Communist Manifesto. Had some kids um, reading. There are some kids reading into anarchism. There's some kids um, trying to read stuff like Capital. I'm like, well, that's a big boy there.
Yeah.
I don't spend nobody to get through the first volume of Capital like that. That's 1,000 pages of fun.
Mm.
Um, yeah, yeah. So if you do try to read Capital, you're gonna have to like you have to go through David Harvey's stuff and read it with him because holy shit, that's fun. But but yeah, um, point is a lot of these kids they're in a world where they're seeing capitalism in decline. Um, we have, especially in Florida, the whole "Don't Say Gay" bill thing. Um, and I was telling like some of my students who were in LGBTQIA clubs and stuff like that. I'm like, you guys should be the most active club on the campus.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like between your guys' revolutionary history, it's like more and more of these kids are going to start going toward the more revolutionary side of history. They're going to start asking questions. Something isn't right. Especially more of these black kids go, why aren't you telling me the rest of the story? You
Yeah.
know. But like I said, at least that's from what I've taught. Um, but yeah, I don't see too many, at least in my experience, I don't see too many younger people falling into that trap like that. Not not as many that would normally fall into it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, and it almost feels like, because I want to say like an audience from let's see, let me think, the Majority Report compared to a Matt Walsh audience. I want to say there's a stark difference when it comes to just the lives that they live, because like you said, I think there's a lot more than none when it comes to young kids that are starting to be aware of the world that they're going to be entering into, and they're not shy to say something. They are going to question things that kind of been assumed throughout generations, like, oh, we just gotta go to school, college, work and work and work and work until you retire maybe, and then die. Now people are starting to question, like, hey, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So and it's weird, and like, if I'm just kind of looking at these thumbnails, like Matt Walsh did a video 5 hours ago. Matt Walsh ranks the best rappers of all time. What in the Okay, I don't want to judge a book by its cover. Okay, I don't want to be that guy. Okay, but I think it's safe to say that Matt Walsh don't know nothing about the best rappers alive.
Holy shit.
Why is he making this content? Like I only been a YouTuber for like 8 months, and from what I learned is you have to know your audience and create the kind of content that they want. I don't think, and Matt Walsh has millions of subscribers. Okay, millions. He's not new at this YouTube stuff. Why is he making a video? Matt Walsh watches anime. He made that a day ago. I don't understand it. Why? What happened here? You know what I'm saying?
It's because they know their audience is eventually going to age out. I mean, it's getting to a point now where it's like, we know it's artificial. We know, like, basically this is all performative. It's just their attempt to stay relevant and try to get ahead of stuff. Well, we gotta attract the younger people here. Well, that's not how you're doing it. You could talk about real shit. Actually talk to someone who actually is around younger people, who teaches younger people,
Yeah.
who listens to them sometimes when they say stuff to you. Yeah, you got younger people that have those interests, but people can pick up when you're not being authentic. But you know what a lot of younger people do too? They'll see a video like that and go, okay, cool, let me see his other videos.
Yeah.
Then you start to tell on yourself. It's
well that's what I was. Oh, go ahead and finish.
I was saying, like, I would say, like, Matt Walsh can do a video like that, and then you'd have someone like you or me or any of us make videos about like real liberation history or open criticism of capitalism or something like that. And we could like bust our ass and work hard on that motherfucker, have notes and everything. And then this asshole Matt Walsh can come out and say, this is my top video of rappers. This is this. Oh, we put this together like 10 minutes ago. We have millions of views. No ass put this long video about anti-capitalism and real policy action, real theory. You took like 2 or 3. It takes hours to make some of these theories. Yeah, it takes hours to make some of these theory videos. So much love and respect to everybody from Midwestern Marxism Today, anybody making theory videos. Zoe Baker, anybody making theory videos.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy shit. but yeah, it's they can sit there and make those theory videos and go do the research and go take the time, and they'd only get what, on a good day, they might get like, it might hit 1,000 views if they're lucky.
Yeah.
On a good day.
Oh, I know the struggle is real, man. Like you hit it on the nail. Like, and that's why I was not hesitant on trying to make content like this, but I wanted to try to get a larger platform. So when I do create content, like taking back blackness, or like the conversation we're gonna have soon capitalism in the black community and how that works. I don't want that to fall on deaf ears. And I appreciate everybody who watches my content. I do, but like you said, it takes a lot of time to put that stuff together. I gotta actually read books and try to get, caught up. And you know what I'm saying? And I have to, have you take time out of your day to have this conversation. Then I got to do the editing, which, takes, 32 an hour, you know what I'm saying? So it takes a lot of time to make content that actually matters. And like you say, like, and I have a question for you, Mr. Ty. Like Candace Owens, she made a video saying, what is Jamie Foxx hiding? Like, Jamie Foxx is minding his business. Like, leave that man alone, okay? She made a video says, is Kyle Richards a lesbian? Who cares? Like,
Right.
like we got people starving, and you want to make a video. This is the weirdest video I've ever seen. It has like a plant, in some dirt. Like, okay, I don't have nothing to combat with them, because that was my bread and butter. Is like, okay, now Candace Owens said this about affirmative action. Okay, let me make a response video. But they're not making anything worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ben Shapiro, what does he say? Let's see. Joyce Bayer is turned on by what? Okay, unless it's like some policy she's turned on. I don't get it. Who cares? Like I say, will AI kill or save us all? And he has this weird picture of himself, as like a robot. I'm like, okay, they done either completely gave up, or like there's some strategy behind this that I'm just too stupid to understand. So my question to you, Mr. Ty, is, like E-Way said, like, is this just content? Because we're kind of in between elections, and nothing's really popping off right now. Is this content to draw in younger people? And then, like E-Way said, like, once you watch someone's content on YouTube once, the YouTube algorithm starts to feed you more of their stuff. And it's kind of like sporadic, you know what I'm saying? It might be like 2 months ago, a video that you posted is going to bring it to their face. So is this like their strategy? Like, we're going to make these stupid, weird videos that took us 10 minutes to collaborate and make, to draw in these younger people, so when the elections come, then we can force our ideologies and our beliefs onto them. Do you think that's a strategy, or do you think that's just above their intellectual pay grade?
It does sound like marketing to me. It to stay to stay to stay in people's feed. That's why I try not to like with E-Way sent me something with Sabi, and now I'm getting all this Sabi stuff. But I like Sabi. But back in my day, before the internet, there were these newspaper articles, the National Enquirer. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but the National go to the supermarket. That's what it sounds like that they're doing. They're taking part in following the strategies of the National Enquirer. That's what is Jamie Foxx up to? He could be a clone, man, a lesbian. After every pickup line, the man says, "I'm a lesbian too." Stuff like that. So yeah, it sounds like they're trying to stay relevant, to get some money, and like I said before, you just gotta follow the money.
Yeah.
Then what's the other guy? They is a conservative comic book creator, and they could be following his strategy. Well, they probably get more followers than him. But that's what it sounds like. I don't think Matt, what's his name? Matt Walsh. He knows anything about rap, and I wish these rap
Jesus Christ, man.
would call these guys out. They do battle raps and beefs to each other, but do something to these guys.
Oh yeah, and trust me, man. Like in a future episode, man, we're definitely gonna talk about these rappers. But I think the conclusion is, I want to say they're just really. I don't want to say they're stupid because they're smart enough to be where they're at. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be as dumb as a bag of bricks to be where they're at. So they're not
Right.
stupid, but I think they're just so greedy and just so self-centered, and they're sticking to the grift as hard as possible, that they're just willing to make whatever content they need to make to just continue to stay relevant and to continue to make money. And that's the I think they're just, professional opportunists. But on the other half is, worst case scenario, that this is all part of their, elaborate plan. And, essentially once, elections start to roll around, then they're really going to start pushing their hateful speech, their, white supremacist type of, talking points. And, the new subscribers, the younger people that they're, probably picking up in between time, is just going to get flooded with this stuff. Because we've seen it with Andrew Tate. You know what I'm saying? Like, they like the MMA fighter. I think he was an MMA fighter, something like that. They like the cars, they like the girls, and then they kind of get sucked into that. And then he starts talking about the Matrix, and he starts trying to, indoctrinate them with, essentially at the end of the day, white supremacist talking points. So that's my, staying aware, keeping my antennas up, you know what I'm saying? Because, it was just weird to me how they kind of pivot so quick into the weird content.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to join the conversation by subscribing. Make sure to tune in next time, and like always, power to you, power to me, power to the people, power to the pod.